Hi everybody, Mr. Khan over here. Just wanted to give a little video because I know there might be a little confusion. Number one, I just want to point out the fact that up at the top of Google Classroom is your outline due dates that are listed. Now I've adjusted each one of those. The introduction was originally going to be due today, the 25th. Because of our snow day yesterday, I've adjusted everything a day. So now the dates have changed. So our introduction paragraph will be due Thursday, the 26th. Paragraph 1, body paragraph 1 will be on Friday, the 27th. 22 will be on, or the body paragraph 2 will be on the 30th, and so on and so on. So you can look at your due dates here, and just in case they change, just listen in class. So the big thing that this is going to be worth 30 points, this outline, and you should be doing it for each day that we are working with it, because you don't want to lose 5 points per day. 5 times 6 is 30, so each one of these will be worth 5 points in a homework assignment. And this one, 3 and 4, will be a 10-point because obviously it's 2 paragraphs, it's twice the work. So just to show you what it is first, I want to give you a little overview of it. So if you look here, we have, it is the Outsider's outline. At the top of each, it gives the objectives of what you're supposed to do. And you are supposed to write in this, and of course color code it with the same color that we have. For our introduction, for example, it tells you the hook sentence. You write your hook sentence here. Your articulating sentences about your sources, like the Outsiders, or your articles explaining what they are and what you chose to talk about, from the articles. It would be right here, just warming the reader up. And of course, your thesis statement, which is we're going to work on today, Wednesday in class. It gives you specific directions. Okay, that's day 1. The next day, day 2, it gives body paragraph 1, source 1. It gives all the requirements for each, and then it gives specific requirements: the topic sentence, the answer, talking about justice or injustice, what you think, your first example that can be pasted right from your source. From your source worksheet, the facts and statistics pasted right there, an explanation of it. Paste your second fact, okay, right there, and then of course your second quotation, and sum it up in purple. That's pretty much, so 2 of the boxes are simply just pasting, and the rest of it you kind of have to do yourself. You do that day after day, and that's how you do your body paragraphs. So all the work that we do over the next few days will be done right on this document, and will be worth 30 points total. So make sure you're keeping up with it. I'm going to close out of this and tell you a little bit about what we're doing today. Now, a couple of days ago, we did a little guided practice, Outsider's guided practice when it comes to introduction paragraphs. We're going to finish that today, Wednesday. And I'm going to open that up so you can see what we're talking about. As you recall, we've talked about how we have hooks, which are either a piece of imagery or a statistic or a rhetorical question or quotation, your articulating sentences that introduce your topic, your sources, your background, anything. And then today we're going to work on the thesis statement. All right, and there's a formula here for doing the thesis statements. Now, before you left class on Monday, you had to do a little Google form. And the thing with the form is it said send a copy to yourself. So I'm going to pull up one of my students from my 8th period class, Jake, and Jake has his results of his form, and we see that he chose that the world is a place of justice, and we have our 4 sources that he summarized in 1 sentence. So what we're going to do now is construct our thesis statement. And how we're going to construct our thesis statement is we're going to go down to the bottom, and we're going to go to this thesis statement practice. Again, classroom, not homework. Okay? So we're going to open that up. And it shows you how to construct a thesis statement. It gives you a little chart. You need a verb: by examining, by investigating, by looking into, whatever you want to pick. Then you're going to define in just 1 word or just a short phrase what the major problem in the Outsiders was. So we put the harsh reality of the death penalties, just a basic example. Then we're going to give me the main problem in the upfront article, the illogical nature of the legal system. Okay, just really summarizing it in 1 or 2 words or a short phrase. The problem in database article 1, the number of racially motivated police arrests, and database article number 2, the brutal actions by law enforcement. So then we connect that by a logical statement. It's obvious that, it's conspicuous that, it's clear that. And then we have our central idea, the big conclusion we need to come to, that we live in a society of justice where nobody is above the law. You got to kind of get creative there. So when we take all that, we put all that together, we make a sentence, and we say, by examining the harsh reality of the death penalty, the illogical nature of our legal system, the number of racially motivated police arrests, and the brutal actions by law enforcement, it's obvious that we live in a society of justice where nobody is above the law. Okay? So, how do we do this? All right, let's go. Let's see what my buddy Jake did here. Okay? So, we'll take his email. He said the scene where Dally got shot by police because he pointed a gun at them. So he summarized that in one word on his. Scroll down. He said, by examining over criticism of police, he's going to talk about how the police were justified here, and that's something that we want to talk about. That police, sometimes we over criticize them for doing their job. Next one. 2009, NFL acknowledged publicity that concussions can cause long-term brain damage that led to public awareness and further medical research from football players that know the risk. So how did he summarize that in a couple of words? Medical risks for sports. Boom. Real general, but it shows what he's going to talk about. So database article number 1. We live in a democracy where people get to vote and make decisions, and Trump needs to follow the laws of our government. So how did he summarize what that is going to talk about? American faith in our president. Okay? One little phrase. And then he said that database topic number 4, the more NCAA is investigating misconduct and fraud, the more teams will be held accountable. So he wrote athletic fraud. I'm going to even add to his and accountability. Oh, I spelled it wrong. We can fix that though. Athletic fraud and accountability. So then he chose to use the logical statement. It's conspicuous that. Okay. And let's see what he came up with. Let's take a look. By examining over criticism of police, medical risks from sports, American faith in our president, and athletic fraud and accountability, it is conspicuous that everyone can be held accountable for their actions and justice is served throughout America. Jake Stack, wonderful job. That is a terrific thesis statement. And how did he get it? By breaking it down, by going through and taking a look at the big issues that each one of these had. You summarized it in one sentence. Your goal is to summarize it in a short phrase or a short problem. So that's kind of how you put it together. So what Jake would do then is take all this and paste it where? None other than on his outline. Okay, down at the bottom in the back into the thesis statement portion. He's got his, so he has 1/3 of his homework done. And it says, so he'd paste that thesis statement right here. He'd put it all together and paste it here. He'd then add his hook. He'd add his articulating sentences, and his homework would be done. He did a terrific job, and I suggest all of you will do a terrific job too. We will work on this in class. Our goal is to get our thesis statement done by the end of class today, so 1/3 of your homework is done, but that's how you formulate it. Your thesis statement and your introductions, because it's part of it, will be due on Thursday, the 26th. Okay? Let me know and come see me if you have any questions or problems, and we'll work it out together. All right? Good luck, everybody.